Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Practice Podcast. I'm glad you are here today. Before we begin, I want to ask you a very honest question. Are you really learning English, or are you just spending time around English? There is a difference, a very big difference. Many people watch English videos every day. They save vocabulary posts. They download grammar PDFs. They follow many teachers online. They buy notebooks, apps, courses, and learning plans. But after months, or even years, they still feel stuck. They understand more than before, but they cannot speak freely. They know many words, but when someone asks them a simple question, their mind suddenly becomes empty. They can read English, but speaking feels slow, stressful, and uncomfortable. If this sounds familiar, please do not feel bad. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. You are not too old, and you are not bad at languages. Maybe the problem is not you. Maybe the problem is the way you are learning. Today, I want to help you look at English learning differently. I want to show you some common mistakes that waste your time. And more importantly, I want to show you what to do instead. This is not a magic trick. This is not a promise that you will become fluent in 7 days. Real progress takes time. But if you practice in the right way, that time becomes powerful. If you practice in the wrong way, even a lot of time can become weak. So stay with me. Listen carefully. And as you listen, ask yourself one question. Am I really practicing English in a way that helps me speak? Let's begin. The first mistake is learning too passively. Passive learning means you receive English, but you do not produce English. You watch videos, you listen to podcasts, you read explanations, you look at example sentences. All of that can be useful. But if you only receive English, your speaking will not grow enough. Imagine someone wants to become a good swimmer. They watch swimming videos every day. They read books about swimming. They learn the names of different swimming techniques. They even buy a beautiful swimming bag. But they never get into the water. Will they become a good swimmer? Of course not. Because swimming is a physical skill, you need to move your body. Speaking English is also a physical skill. You need to move your mouth. You need to train your tongue. You need to hear your own voice. You need to build the habit of creating sentences in real time. That cannot happen only inside your head. So, if you spend 1 hour learning English, do not spend the whole hour watching or reading. At some point, you must speak. Even if you are alone, even if your sentence is simple, even if your pronunciation is not perfect, even if you make mistakes, open your mouth and say something. For example, after watching a short English lesson, pause the video and ask yourself, what did I learn? Then answer out loud. You can say, today, I learned 3 useful phrases for daily conversation. The first phrase was new for me. I want to use it when I talk about my work. Simple, clear, active. That is speaking practice. You do not always need a partner. Of course, speaking with people is wonderful. But you can begin by speaking to yourself. You can describe your morning. You can talk about your plans. You can explain what you learned. You can repeat useful sentences. You can record your voice. The important thing is this: do not let English stay only in your eyes and ears. Bring it into your mouth. That is where speaking begins. Now, the second mistake is collecting too much and using too little. This is very common today. There's so much English content online. Every day, you can find a new method, a new teacher, a new app, a new challenge, a new secret, a new list of phrases. a new video called Learn English Fast. And because everything looks useful, you save everything. You think, I will study this later. But later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes never. Your phone is full of saved lessons, but your speaking has not changed. This is not because the lessons are bad. It is because collecting is not the same as learning. Let me say that again. Collecting is not the same as learning. A saved lesson does not help you if you never use it. A vocabulary list does not help you if the words never enter your sentences. A grammar rule does not help you if you cannot use it when you speak. So instead of collecting 100 things, choose one thing and use it deeply. For example, choose 5 useful phrases this week. Only 5, not 50. 5. Let's say your phrases are, I'm not sure yet. It depends on the situation. Could you explain that again? I see what you mean. That sounds like a good idea. Now your job is not just to understand them. Your job is to use them. Make your own sentences. Say them in different situations. Repeat them until they feel natural. For example, I'm not sure yet, but I'll think about it. It depends on the situation, but usually I prefer working in the morning. Could you explain that again? I understand the first part, but not the second part. I see what you mean, and I agree with most of it. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should try it this weekend. This is how phrases become yours. Not by saving them, not by liking a video, not by writing them once in a notebook. They become yours when you use them again and again. So ask yourself, am I collecting English or am I using English? That question can change your learning. The third mistake is waiting until you feel ready to speak. Many learners say, I will speak when my grammar is better, or I will speak when I know more vocabulary, or I will speak when my pronunciation is good. But here is the truth. You become ready by practicing. You do not wait until you are ready. Speaking is not the final step. Speaking is part of the process. Think about a child learning to walk. The child does not wait until their legs are perfect. The child stands, falls, tries again, falls again, and slowly becomes stronger. Language works in a similar way. You speak. You make mistakes. You notice what is missing. You learn. You speak again. You improve. If you wait for perfect English before speaking, you may wait forever. Because perfect English is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Connection is the goal. Confidence is the goal. If you say a sentence and the other person understands you, that is success. If you make a small mistake, but continue speaking, that is success. If you forget a word and find another way to explain your idea, that is success. Let's practice that mindset right now. Repeat after me. I do not need perfect English to begin. I can speak with simple words. I can make mistakes and still communicate. I can improve by practicing. Good. Now say this sentence out loud. I am learning to speak, so I must practice speaking. Again. I am learning to speak, so I must practice speaking. Excellent. The fourth mistake is studying grammar, like a test, not like a tool. Grammar is important. Of course it is. Grammar helps you organize your ideas. It helps people understand when something happened, who did something, and how ideas connect. But many learners study grammar only as rules. They learn the name of the tense. They memorize the structure. They do exercises with blanks. But when they speak, they cannot use it naturally. Why? Because knowing a rule is not the same as using a rule. For example, you may know the present perfect, You may know the structure, have or has plus past participle. But in real conversation, can you say, I've never tried that before. I've been busy recently. I've already finished it. I haven't decided yet. I've lived here for 3 years. These sentences are more useful than a long explanation. So when you study grammar, always connect it to real sentences. Do not only ask, what is the rule? Ask, when can I use this in my life? If you learn the past tense, talk about yesterday. If you learn future forms, talk about your plans. If you learn conditionals, talk about possible situations. If you learn comparatives, compare your city, your work, your habits, your choices. Grammar should not stay on the page. Grammar should enter your life. Let's take one simple structure. I used to. This is for something that was true in the past, but is not true now. Now make it personal. I used to be afraid of speaking English, but now I try to practice more often. Repeat. I used to be afraid of speaking English, but now I try to practice more often. Another one. I used to study only grammar, but now I also practice speaking every day. Repeat. I used to study only grammar, but now I also practice speaking every day. Good. Now your turn. Say one sentence beginning with, I used to speak now. Very good. That is grammar as a tool. The 5th mistake is having a goal that is too big and too unclear. Many learners say, I want to be fluent. That sounds nice. But what does it mean? Fluent in what situation? Fluent with whom? Fluent about which topics? Fluent by when? If your goal is too general, it becomes difficult to follow. Your brain does not know what to do today. A better goal is specific. For example, this month, I want to speak for 2 minutes about my daily routine without stopping too much. Or, in the next 8 weeks, I want to learn and use 50 phrases for work conversations. Or, by the end of this month, I want to record myself answering 10 common interview questions in English. These goals are clearer. You can measure them. You can practice them. You can see progress. Fluency is a big mountain. But you do not climb a mountain by staring at the top all day. You climb it by taking the next step, then the next step, then the next step. So if your goal is, I want to speak English confidently, break it down. What do you want to talk about first? Yourself? Your work? Your family? Your daily life? Your opinions? Your plans? Choose one area. Practice that area. Build confidence there. Then move to another area. Confidence grows through small wins. One small win might be, today, I answered one question out loud. Another small win might be, today, I learned how to explain my opinion with, because. Another small win might be, today, I recorded my voice for 1 minute. These small wins matter. Do not ignore them. They are the steps that build your speaking confidence. Now repeat after me. Big goal, small steps. Big goal, small steps. One more time. Big goal, small steps. Good. The 6th mistake is changing your method too often. This happens when you feel impatient. You study with one method for 3 days. Then you do not feel fluent yet. So you think, maybe this method is wrong. You change to another method, then another, then another. After a month, you have tried many things, but you have not stayed with anything long enough to benefit from it. Learning English needs variety, yes, but it also needs consistency. If you plant a seed today, you cannot dig it up tomorrow to check if it has grown. You water it. You give it sunlight. You wait. You take care of it. Language learning is similar. Choose a simple routine and stay with it for a reasonable amount of time. For example, 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of shadowing, 10 minutes of speaking your own sentences, 5 minutes of review. That is 35 minutes. Do that 5 days a week for 1 month. You will feel a difference. Maybe not a dramatic difference, but a real difference. Your mouth will feel more comfortable. Your listening will feel sharper. Some phrases will come out faster. You will hesitate a little less. That is progress, and progress is often quiet at first. Do not quit, because progress is not loud. Keep going. The 7th mistake is learning words without learning situations. A word alone is weak. A word inside a sentence is stronger. A word inside a real situation is powerful. For example, the word available. You can memorize the meaning, but it becomes more useful when you know how to use it. Are you available tomorrow afternoon? I'm not available this morning, but I'm free after lunch. The doctor is not available today. Is this room available for the meeting? Now the word has life. You know when to use it. You know how it sounds. You know what words often come around it. So when you learn vocabulary, do not only write the translation. Write a situation. Write a sentence. Write a question. Write an answer. Let's practice with the word schedule. Instead of only writing schedule, say, my schedule is quite full this week. Can we schedule the meeting for Friday? I need to check my schedule before I confirm. Repeat. My schedule is quite full this week. Can we schedule the meeting for Friday? I need to check my schedule before I confirm. Good. Now with the word improve. I want to improve my speaking skills. My pronunciation has improved a little. The best way to improve is to practice regularly. Repeat. I want to improve my speaking skills. My pronunciation has improved a little. The best way to improve is to practice regularly. Excellent. Now choose one English word you learned recently. Make one sentence with it. Speak. Now. Nice. The 8th mistake is avoiding review. Many learners always want new lessons, new words, new grammar, new videos, new topics. New feels exciting. Review feels boring. But review is where learning becomes memory. If you meet a phrase once, you may understand it. If you meet it 5 times, you may remember it. If you use it 10 times, it may become part of your speaking. That is the power of review. Review does not have to be complicated. You can review in simple ways. Read yesterday's sentences out loud. Listen again to a short audio. Cover the English and try to say the sentence from memory. Record yourself using the phrase in a new sentence. Talk about the same topic again, but with more detail. For example, on Monday, you learn how to talk about your weekend. On Tuesday, review the same topic and add emotions. On Wednesday, review it again and add reasons. On Thursday, turn it into a short story. On Friday, record yourself answering, "How was your week?" That is review. You are not repeating mindlessly. You are recycling language. You are meeting the same ideas in different ways. That makes your English stronger. So do not always chase new lessons. Sometimes the lesson you need is the one you already studied. You just need to use it again. The 9th mistake is thinking confidence comes before practice. Actually, confidence often comes after practice. Many learners say, I am not confident, so I do not speak. But the more helpful sentence is, I speak, so I can become more confident. Confidence is not a gift that suddenly arrives one morning. Confidence is built. It is built when you try. It is built when you survive small, uncomfortable moments. It is built when you speak and realize the world does not end. It is built when someone understands you. It is built when you make a mistake and keep going. Think about the first time you record your voice in English. Maybe you feel strange. Maybe you do not like your accent. Maybe you hear mistakes. That is normal. But if you record yourself every week, something changes. Your voice becomes more familiar. Your fear becomes smaller. You begin to notice progress. Maybe your sentences are longer. Maybe your pronunciation is clearer. Maybe you pause less. Maybe you sound more relaxed. That is confidence growing. Quietly, slowly, honestly. So do not wait to feel confident. Practice to become confident. Repeat after me. I practice first. Confidence follows. Again. I practice first. Confidence follows. Good. The 10th mistake is trying to sound advanced too soon. Some learners think natural English means difficult English, so they try to use big words, long sentences, and complicated grammar. But sometimes their meaning becomes unclear. Remember this: clear English is better than complicated English. A simple sentence spoken clearly is powerful. You can sound mature without using difficult words. For example, instead of saying something very complex, you can say, I understand the idea, but I need more time to think about it. That is clear, natural, useful. Or, I agree with you in general, but I see the situation a little differently. That sounds intelligent, but it is not too complicated. Or, I'm still learning, so sometimes I need a moment to organize my thoughts. That is honest and natural. Your goal is not to impress people with difficult English. Your goal is to express your ideas clearly. Advanced English is not only about advanced vocabulary, it is about control. Can you say what you mean? Can you explain your reason? Can you give an example? Can you ask a good question? Can you keep the conversation going? That is real ability. So use the English you have. Use it well. Then slowly expand it. Now let's practice a useful speaking formula. Point, reason, example, feeling. Let's answer this question. Why do you want to improve your English? Model answer. I want to improve my English because it can give me more opportunities. For example, I could communicate with more people, understand more content, and feel more confident when I travel or work. That makes English feel important in my daily life. Repeat after me. I want to improve my English because it can give me more opportunities. For example, I could communicate with more people, understand more content, and feel more confident when I travel or work. That makes English feel important in my daily life. Good. Now your turn. Answer the question. Why do you want to improve your English? Use point, reason, example, and feeling. Speak now. Excellent. Now let's talk about a better way to learn. If you want to stop wasting time, build a simple learning cycle. Here is the cycle. Notice, practice, use, review. Again, notice, practice, use, review. Let me explain. First, notice. When you listen to English, notice useful phrases. Not every word, useful phrases. For example, that makes sense. I'm working on it. I haven't decided yet. It depends on what happens. I need to think about it. Second, practice. Repeat the phrase. Say it slowly. Say it naturally. Change one word, and make a new sentence. Third, use. Answer a question with it. Create a small situation. You say it as if you are speaking to a real person. Fourth, review. Come back tomorrow. Use it again. Use it next week. Use it in another topic. That is how language becomes active. Let's try it now with the phrase, I'm working on it. Repeat. I'm working on it. Now change it. I'm working on my pronunciation. I'm working on my confidence. I'm working on a presentation for tomorrow. I'm working on speaking more naturally. Repeat. I'm working on my pronunciation. I'm working on my confidence. I'm working on a presentation for tomorrow. I'm working on speaking more naturally. Now use it in a mini answer. Question: how is your English going? Answer: it's getting better slowly. I'm working on my speaking confidence, and I try to practice a little every day. Repeat: it's getting better slowly. I'm working on my speaking confidence, and I try to practice a little every day. Good. That is the learning cycle. Notice, practice, use, review. Simple, but powerful. Now I want to give you a realistic daily routine. Not a perfect routine, a realistic one. Because many people fail because their plan is too heavy. They say, I will study English for 3 hours every day. Then life happens. They miss one day. Then they feel guilty. Then they stop completely. Do not build a routine that only works on perfect days. Build a routine that works on normal days, busy days, tired days, messy days. Here is a simple routine. 5 minutes. Listen to short English audio. 5 minutes. Repeat 3 useful sentences. 5 minutes. Answer 1 question out loud. 5 minutes. Review yesterday's phrases. That is 20 minutes. If you have more time, great. Do more. But if you only have 20 minutes, you can still make progress. The secret is not intensity one day. The secret is return. Come back again, and again, and again. English becomes easier when it becomes familiar. Familiarity comes from repeated contact. Repeated contact comes from a routine. So ask yourself, what is the smallest English routine I can actually keep? Not the most impressive routine, the most realistic routine. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15, maybe 20. Choose something you can do even when you are busy. Then protect it. Make it part of your day. Now let's practice making a commitment. Repeat after me. I will practice in a way I can actually continue. I will not wait for perfect conditions. I will use small moments. I will speak a little every day. Again. I will practice in a way I can actually continue. I will not wait for perfect conditions. I will use small moments. I will speak a little every day. Good. Now let's speak about your own routine. Complete this sentence. I can practice English for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Say it now. Good. Now complete. During that time, I will say 1 or 2 actions. Speak now. Excellent. Now let's talk about motivation. Motivation is useful, but motivation changes. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. Some days you feel confident. Some days you wonder if you are improving at all. That is normal. Do not depend only on motivation. Depend on identity. Identity means how you see yourself. Instead of saying, I am trying to learn English, say, I am an English learner, instead of saying, I study when I feel motivated. Say, I am someone who practices even a little. This small change matters. Because when English becomes part of your identity, you do not ask every day, do I feel like studying? You simply return to the habit, like brushing your teeth, like drinking water, like checking your phone. It becomes part of who you are. Now, of course, you still need motivation. So connect English to your real life. Why are you learning? Do you want better work opportunities? Do you want to travel? Do you want to understand films and podcasts? Do you want to study abroad? Do you want to speak with international friends? Do you want to feel proud of yourself? Your reason is important. Keep it close. When learning feels difficult, remember your reason. Not just the exam, not just the score, not just the certificate. Remember the life behind the English, the conversations you want to have, the doors you want to open, the person you want to become. That is your deeper motivation. Now say this out loud. I am learning English because... Finish the sentence with your real reason. Speak now. Very good. Keep that reason. You will need it on difficult days. Now let's review the main ideas from today. Do not learn only passively. Speak. Do not collect too much. Use what you learn. Do not wait until you are ready. Practice makes you ready. Do not study grammar only as rules. Turn grammar into real sentences. Do not keep a goal that is too big and unclear. Break it into small steps. Do not change methods every 3 days. Stay consistent long enough to grow. Do not learn words without situations. Put vocabulary into real life. Do not avoid review. Review makes learning stick. Do not wait for confidence. Confidence follows practice. Do not try to sound advanced before you can sound clear. Clear English is powerful. Now I want to end with one final message. You may feel that your English is not improving fast enough. You may feel behind. You may compare yourself with other people. You may think, they speak better than me. But remember this. You do not see their full journey. You do not see their private practice. You do not see their mistakes. You do not see the years they spent listening, repeating, forgetting, reviewing, trying again. So do not compare your middle with someone else's result. Focus on your next step. One sentence today. One answer today. One small conversation today. One review today. That is how you move forward. English fluency is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in quiet moments. When you repeat a sentence one more time. When you answer a question, even though you feel nervous. When you review a phrase you almost forgot. When you choose to practice for 10 minutes instead of doing nothing. Those moments matter. They are small, but they are not useless. They are the bricks. And every time you practice, you place another brick. One day, you look back and realize you have built something real. So today, do not ask, how can I become fluent immediately? Ask, what is one useful thing I can practice today? Then do it. Speak one answer. Repeat one phrase. Review one lesson. Record 1 minute. Send one message. Read one paragraph out loud. Small action. Real progress. Before we finish, repeat these sentences with me. I will stop wasting time with passive learning only. Repeat. I will stop wasting time with passive learning only. I will use the English I learn. Repeat. I will use the English I learn. I will build my confidence through practice. Repeat. I will build my confidence through practice. I will focus on small steps. Repeat. I will focus on small steps. I can improve if I keep going. Repeat. I can improve if I keep going. Beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode helped you, come back and listen again. But do not only listen. Use it. Choose one idea from today and apply it. Maybe you will speak out loud for 5 minutes. Maybe you will review yesterday's phrases. Maybe you will create a smaller, clearer goal. Maybe you will stop saving so many lessons and start using one lesson deeply. Whatever you choose, make it real. Your English will not change because you found the perfect video. Your English will change because you practiced with purpose. So keep learning, keep speaking, keep reviewing, keep taking small steps, and most importantly, keep going. I'll see you in the next episode of the English Practice Podcast.